Welcome to another installment of Balanced Fusion Fitness. I am a certified yoga instructor. I have once in the past got close to being certified as a personal trainer and will in the next couple of years. However, this is not instruction based on that. This is just me showing you how to go get a workout creatively and bring it with you. You don't always need the gym, and maybe you don't want to do it at home. So I have sort of a whole kit here that's marvelous. Let's sit down for a sec. I'll do several videos and try to make them short installment, and I'll give you just kind of a general workover of how I go about it, you know? And obviously you can do it the way you want to do it. This is just the way that I choose to do it. I think it's good to be multifaceted, right? So the first thing that I bring, besides water, cell phone, backpack, stuff, sunglasses, this is wisdom, because there are some mantras in here that I would like to do while I'm working out. So my spiritual practice is combined with everything I do. So even if I'm doing something like working out or going for a walk in nature, I like to remember God all the time. That's just my personal spiritual practice. I'm not saying that you have to do it. But say maybe you're learning a new language, or there's some kind of concept that you want to study, or you're learning a new technical skill for a work, such as a mechanic or whatnot. So maybe you're running through that in your head, because I think sometimes we think about dumb things, right? If we just let our mind do whatever it wants to do, free flowing and running, which is fun sometimes. However, I've noticed in the practice of yoga that if I say mantras and I repeat them over and over, it replaces most of that kind of idle thinking that is just really not very productive, and it doesn't make me feel peace. Usually I'm just thinking about things I'm worried about. Anyways, I'm pretty sure that most humans have this, and again, this is why things like that were created. So if you're not into mantras, or mantras as most people know them, maybe you could say, review different words of a language you're trying to learn. Or again, the technical skill. Maybe you're just memorizing different data points and numbers and values and conversions and whatnot, I know that sounds boring, but if you're thinking about that instead of just nonsense, or the things that you cannot control in your life or you're worried about, you'll get ahead, you'll be peaceful, you'll keep expanding yourself instead of contracting and limiting and getting stuck. So I know that was a bit of philosophy. I have no limitations or boundaries in the way of combining things, We're all doing this kind of by ourselves mostly, unless we're with other people. But even then, it's all internal. We can choose to do things how we want to do them, as long as they're not against the law. Not that that stops some people. So when I'm walking, I like to load the whole backpack up. All right, just kind of show you real quick. I load it up and try to balance it out evenly with weight. I've only got two different things that are really weight. These are 5-pound each ankle weightlets, right? You can take small amounts out of them if you want to adjust the value. Adjust the poundage. I don't even know what to call that. Two 2-pound weights, right? They're easy to, I like to do sort of martial arts stuff, so. Very versatile. Obviously there's lots of movement, any kind of movement that requires dumbbell. What I like is you can do a lot of these movements that are more difficult to do with higher weights. And so you can get more of a cardiovascular workout, which is what I like to do when I'm out in nature. I like to try to focus on some resistance, some weight. Again, resistance, right? But my main focus on these trips is enhancing my endurance, my stamina, the entire cardiovascular system, the breathing, which affects the nervous system, which, although you're doing things that seem intense, it does essentially calm your nervous system down. And being a person that has a lot of anxiety, I put extra focus into being calm. You know, I put work into it. It's not automatic for me. You have a nice TheraBand, which is a twisty. It's for developing wrist strength. Again, like I showed you. Of course, I'm not sure if you're familiar with it, but this band has a lot of versatility, right? Especially love the chest movements with it, keeping everything nice and straight. You can do flies, you can do presses with this against your back. Another version of, and obviously you can't do it here, but there is a little piece that you can put right here, and then you put it in a door frame and shut the door, and it locks it right here, and then you can do back movements, pull back, you can do presses, you can do chest presses, sorry, tricep presses, chest presses, etc., etc. Another one is ones to the side, right? So you take these bands, whatever length you want, right? No bouncing, of course. Then we have the jump rope. I'm pretty sure everyone knows how to use this. I will do a demonstration of some more exercises here. I'll do a sample workout. I'll just make that in a separate video. That way each one is not too long, and there's sort of a theme here, right? Different resistance levels. If you're this kind of person, I don't really care that much. I'm getting to this point in my life where I have calluses, and I do a lot of stuff outside. I do a lot of handiwork. So gloves are not essential for me. However, you may want them. And one of these that I really like is a copper fit glove. It's a great glove for doing things that you still need this sort of traction, right? You know, you want a good grip, but it has a full protection. I believe it is also, see this tip? Touch screen friendly. Yes. Very important now. And then we have this other one, which is your standard weightlifting glove. I love these. It's got the finger free. And then, of course, which may not be super practical in the situation, is you never know when you're going to find a good punching bag. And if you don't have gloves for the punching bag, that can hurt, especially if you're not conditioned to it. Fragile hands. I love this particular, this is sort of the UFC type glove, or MMA, whatever. So you have the weight, which this one's coming off. So you have this small, well, it's not a weight, it's just like a little tough band. It's for making sure that your hand is clenched, because when you're making impact on something, you know, there can be a lot of stress there, and if it's hollow, you can accidentally jam your fingers, which makes the whole process not very fun. So yeah, it's a great glove. Great gloves in general. So there you go. A recap on this Balanced Fusion Fitness segment is that we are fusing different things together. We're doing things that maybe you require a indoor location or gym, using a little bit of creativity and just, you know, being free. This is so nice out here. The birds, insects. There's very little people in this particular park. It's very dense with nature. And with that, I think we will move on to the next one. Thank you for joining me. Namaste. Be creative.